Number 1. Draining life itself. Imagine a power so horrifying that it doesn't just kill you, it literally consumes your life force, leaving you a withered husk while your killer grows stronger from your stolen energy. This is Force Drain, one of the most terrifying abilities we've ever witnessed in Star Wars canon, and it nearly ended the entire Skywalker saga in one horrific moment. Force Drain allows a dark side user to siphon the life energy from their victims, using it to strengthen their own connection to the dark side and even extend their lives for centuries. Think of it as vampirism through the Force itself. But instead of blood, the user is consuming the very essence that connects all living things. The technique represents the ultimate perversion of the Force's natural flow, turning what should be a connection between all life into a parasitic relationship. The most dramatic demonstration of this power comes in The Rise of Skywalker, when Emperor Palpatine discovers Rey and Ben Solo are a Force dyad, two that are one in the Force. Palpatine pivots to a different strategy, draining the strength of their bond to rejuvenate himself. Within moments, we watch as the life literally flows out of our heroes and into the cackling Emperor. Rey and Ben, who moments before were standing strong, collapse to the ground as Palpatine transforms from a decrepit, dying form attached to mechanical life support into his fully restored self. What makes Force Drain particularly terrifying is that it's described as the dark inverse of Force healing. Where the light side power allows someone to give their life to another, the dark side ability enables someone to drain it from them. It's not just an attack, it's a fundamental violation of the Force's natural order. The victim doesn't just die. Their very life essence is stolen and repurposed, fueling their killer's dark power. The implications are staggering. A sufficiently powerful dark side user could theoretically drain multiple victims simultaneously, or even drain the Force energy from an entire area. The power doesn't just kill, it empowers the user while doing so, creating a vicious cycle where each use makes the wielder stronger and more capable of even greater acts of destruction. In Palpatine's case, draining the dyad gave him enough power to unleash Force lightning capable of disabling an entire fleet of ships, showing just how much strength can be stolen through this nightmarish ability. Number 2. Cheating death. Forever. Death is supposed to be the one thing no one can escape. But the Sith, in their endless hunger for power, found a way to spit in death's face through one of the darkest abilities ever conceived. Essence Transfer, also known as transference in the Sith texts. Transference is a Sith ritual that moves a consciousness from a dying body into another vessel. This isn't some peaceful transition to becoming a Force ghost like the Jedi achieve. This is a violent, unnatural process that tears the user's spirit from their dying form and forces it into a new host. The ritual is fraught with danger. Attempting it will cause the current vessel to be destroyed. Your body will be consumed by the power of the dark side. Emperor Palpatine's return in The Rise of Skywalker represents the most successful use of this power we've seen in canon. The power of transference succeeded in moving Sidious's spirit to the clone body that had been prepared for him on Exegol. But here's the truly disturbing part. Even for someone as powerful as Palpatine, the process was far from perfect. His connection to the dark side was too powerful for his new body to contain, leading to numerous deformities and forcing Sidious to rely on an Omen harness for life support. The Sith, eternal cultists on Exegol, spent years attempting to create a perfect vessel for their master, experimenting with cloning and strand casting technologies. But every attempt failed because Palpatine's dark side energy was so intense, it literally rotted the clone bodies from the inside out. This is why he was so desperate to possess Rey. As his granddaughter, she had both the bloodline connection and the Force strength to potentially contain his malevolent spirit without deteriorating. Ready to dive deeper into the dark side? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because the powers we're about to discuss make these look tame by comparison. Your journey into the most forbidden corners of the Force continues below. Perhaps the most chilling example of essence transfer comes from the ancient Sith Lord Momin, whose story was revealed in the Darth Vader comics. When he was killed, his essence went into the mask he created and wore. This mask would control individuals and corrupt them if they came into close quarters with it or wore it. Imagine an artifact that looks like a simple relic, but contains the consciousness of a millennia-old Sith Lord waiting to possess anyone foolish enough to put it on. Momon's mask allowed him to manipulate multiple hosts across thousands of years, using their bodies to continue his dark work. Number 3. Weaponizing the Storm Force. Lightning is the flashy signature move of the Sith. Those crackling bolts of pure hatred shooting from fingertips. But what Palpatine unleashed in The Rise of Skywalker transcends normal Force lightning entirely, becoming something that could only be called a Force storm. This is Force lightning on a scale that's never been seen before, and it's better described as a Force storm. When Palpatine regains his full power through draining Rey and Ben's dyad, he doesn't just attack a few ships. He unleashes lightning that simultaneously disables an entire fleet. Hundreds of Resistance vessels are struck at once by crackling energy that seems to emanate from the sky itself, as if the very atmosphere has become weaponized. This power has a dark history in the shadows of the Sith. According to The Rise of Kylo Ren, Palpatine has been using this ability from the shadows for quite some time. The comic revealed a shocking truth about the destruction of Luke's Jedi Temple. Ben Solo didn't destroy the Jedi Temple at all. Rather, he was manipulated into neutralizing Luke Skywalker, and then a Force storm swept out of the sky and destroyed the building. The implication is clear. Palpatine was orchestrating events from Exegol, using Force storms to eliminate threats from across the galaxy. What makes Force storms so terrifying isn't just its raw destructive power, but its scale and seemingly supernatural origin. Regular Force lightning requires line of sight and direct projection from the user's hands. Force storm appears to manifest from the environment itself, as if the dark side user has turned nature into a weapon. The power represents the dark side at its most uncontrolled and catastrophic, not just an attack, but a localized apocalypse that can devastate entire battlefields or populations in seconds. Number 4. Twisting reality itself. If you thought the Force was just about moving rocks and mind tricks, Sith Alchemy will make you think again. This dark art represents the Sith's attempt to fundamentally alter reality itself through pure malevolent will. Sith Alchemy, also known as Force Alchemy, was the alchemical array of magical dark side techniques of the Force that was used by the Sith. This isn't just mixing potions or creating talismans. This is about violating the fundamental laws of nature and physics through the dark side of the Force. In the Clone Wars, we see one of the most disturbing applications of Sith Alchemy when Darth Sidious and his apprentice Darth Tyrannus used the technique to attack Master Yoda when he ventured to Moraband. Using Tyrannus's relationship and his blood, Sidious and his apprentice were able to use their Force lightning to create an illusion for Yoda. They literally used blood magic combined with the Force to create visions so realistic that even Master Yoda, with all his wisdom and power, struggled to distinguish them from reality. But the most ambitious use of Sith Alchemy comes in Rebels, when Darth Sidious used Sith Alchemy when he attempted to enter the world between worlds. Think about that for a moment. Palpatine used dark magic to try to break into a dimension that exists outside of normal space and time, a realm where past, present, and future intersect. He nearly succeeded in gaining control over time itself through Sith Alchemy. The modern era has seen Sith Alchemy put to disturbing practical use. Sith scientists used Sith Alchemy for Project Blackwing, an attempt to create immortality. While the project was meant to unlock eternal life, it ultimately resulted in a virus that resurrected the dead and led to a widespread contamination. Yes, the Empire literally created zombies through a combination of science and Sith magic. The virus altered the body's stamina and strength, making its host move slower but increasing their resilience to physical damage, allowing victims to take punishment which would be fatal to normal beings. Number 5. Corrupting prophecy itself. The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise isn't just a story. It's a window into one of the most dangerous abilities ever pursued by the Sith: the manipulation of midi-chlorians to create and prevent death. In Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine tells Anakin that Darth Plagueis possessed the power to conquer death, using his knowledge to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. This wasn't just healing or extending life. This was playing God with the fundamental building blocks of Force sensitivity itself. The power to manipulate midi-chlorians represents the ultimate expression of the Sith philosophy. Not content to use the Force, they sought to dominate and reshape it according to their will. But here's the cosmic irony that shows just how dangerous this power truly is. According to the broader lore, when Plagueis and Palpatine attempted to use this power to shift the Force out of balance in their favor, the Force itself struck back. Their meddling triggered an equal and opposite reaction. The Force created Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One destined to destroy the Sith. By trying to control life and death itself, they accidentally caused their own eventual destruction. The true horror of midi-chlorian manipulation lies in what it represents. A Sith Lord can only transfer their own essence through the use of the dark side, meaning essence transfer is useless when it comes to keeping anyone else alive. When Palpatine dangled this power in front of Anakin, promising he could save Padme, it was ultimately a lie. The dark side can take life, it can transfer consciousness, it can even reanimate the dead, but it cannot truly save another person's life. It can only corrupt, steal, and pervert the natural order. Number 6. Severing Force connections. Imagine having your connection to the Force, the energy field that binds all living things, suddenly and violently severed. This is the power demonstrated in the Ahsoka series through ancient Nightsister magic, representing one of the most fundamentally violating abilities in Star Wars. While not technically a Sith power, the Nightsisters of Dathomir have long practiced dark side abilities that rival anything the Sith have created. In Ahsoka, we see the Great Mothers demonstrate the ability to not just fight Force users, but to potentially cut them off from the Force entirely through their dark magic. This goes beyond simply blocking someone's abilities. It's like surgically removing one of their senses, leaving them fundamentally disconnected from the universe itself. The psychological horror of losing one's Force connection cannot be overstated. For Force-sensitive individuals, the Force isn't just a tool. It's how they perceive and interact with the world around them. Having it severed would be like suddenly going blind and deaf simultaneously, while also losing a fundamental part of your identity. We see hints of this trauma when Grogu's memories are explored in The Mandalorian, showing how the Empire's attempts to experiment on Force-sensitive children left deep psychological scars. What makes this power particularly insidious is that it doesn't just remove abilities. It fundamentally changes who a person is. A Jedi without the Force isn't just powerless, they're cut off from the very philosophy and worldview that defines them. The Force guides their actions, gives them purpose, connects them to all life. To have that severed is a fate that many Force users would consider worse than death itself. There you have it. The most terrifying powers in the Star Wars galaxy, each one a testament to how far into darkness Force users can fall. From draining life itself to cheating death through possession, these abilities show us why the dark side is so seductive and so dangerous. Want more deep dives into Star Wars' darkest corners? Subscribe now and comment below with which forbidden Force power you'd like us to explore next.